Dear friends, colleagues, and members of ADI, I'm Chris Lynch. I'm the acting CEO of Alzheimer's Disease International and the Director of Policy, Research and Communications. Alzheimer's Disease International is the global federation of over 120 Alzheimer and dementia associations, including ACMA, ACMA, Cameroon. Over 40 years ago, ADI was created by you, the member associations, to raise awareness of Alzheimer's disease and dementia and to make it a global priority. 4 decades later, we are on the cusp of a pivotal moment for our sector. Yet low awareness and stigma remain two of the biggest challenges we face. And they are the reason why September, our awareness raising month, remains so important to all of our work. At the start of a new World Alzheimer Month campaign, it's so wonderful to see so many people coming together as a community, joining friends, peers, advocates, colleagues, health and care professionals, and most importantly, people living with and at risk of dementia, their families and carers, to shine a light on dementia and to amplify our voices around the world. We are now less than 4 years away from the somber milestone of a predicted 78 million people living with dementia globally by 2030. And yet, despite this astronomical number, we see low awareness and stigma surrounding dementia pervading in many communities, countries, and regions across the globe. Isn't it time for change? This is particularly true in many parts of Africa, including Cameroon, where Alzheimer's disease remains little known and often misunderstood. Raising awareness of the extent of dementia across Africa and within countries such as Cameroon is critical if we are to ensure that people living with dementia and their families receive the support, recognition, and the care that they need. As we all know, dementia is a condition that affects every individual differently, and often there is no linear or one-size-fits-all pathway forwards. But with this in mind, I would ask you this: where does the dementia journey begin? September 2026 marks the 15th anniversary of World Alzheimer's Month, and this year's theme, "The earlier you know, the more you can do. A dementia diagnosis matters," addresses a central and critical part of the dementia journey: earlier diagnosis. We know that diagnosis is the gateway to unlocking crucial planning, treatment, care, and support options, both pharmacological and non-pharmacological, which is why during this campaign, we will seek to raise awareness of the benefits that increased awareness and diagnosis can provide to those living with the condition, and importantly, those at risk of the condition, alongside carers and the wider community. Importantly, this also includes increased awareness amongst health and care professionals. So we invite our friends, our colleagues, and we invite all stakeholders, everyone affected by Alzheimer's disease and dementia, to join us in sharing and engaging with this important campaign. International support from ADI helps member associations become more visible in their communities and strengthens their ability to advocate for people living with dementia and their families. This is especially important in countries such as Cameroon, where Alzheimer's disease remains little known despite its growing impact across Africa. Associations like ACMA play a vital role in closing this awareness gap. Through education, advocacy, community outreach, and support services, ACMA helps people living with dementia, their families and caregivers, to better understand the condition and access the support that they need. ACMA also works alongside businesses and employers, helping them raise awareness amongst employees, promote more inclusive work environments, and better support staff who may be caring for a loved one or living with dementia. By bringing together families, healthcare professionals, community leaders, businesses, and policymakers, ACMA is helping to build a more informed and compassionate society for people with dementia. One beautifully simple way to add your voice and to amplify awareness raising globally is to embed the campaign hashtags into your work during September. Whether that's in your social media posts, your posters, at events, in the press, and in your media interviews. The hashtags are so effectively engaging, and they do so by bringing more and more people to be engaged with your messages. This year, we are using the following three hashtags: Dementia Diagnosis Matters, Alzheimer Diagnosis Matters, Early Diagnosis Matters. We all know that knowledge is power. The first step is often the hardest, and someone worried about their own condition or that of a friend or a family member. But early diagnosis really is empowering. We hear it all the time, following a diagnosis, that people can finally put a name to it, to understand that this is a condition, not a normal part of aging, and that there is so much we can do following diagnosis. I mentioned this pivotal moment we find ourselves at. And with new diagnostics, new and improving disease-modifying and symptomatic treatments, incredible insights into risk reduction, including in post-diagnosis, alongside improvements in planning, rehabilitation, support and care. The key really is coming forward for an early diagnosis. So, mobilize, galvanize, and build momentum this World Alzheimer's Month. Help us spread the word. Join us as we shine a light on the critical importance of seeking out a diagnosis, and as we advocate to increase awareness, challenge stigma, and empower people around the world. At the same time, we encourage governments and public authorities to translate awareness into action through stronger national dementia policies and plans. In Cameroon, as in many countries, continued commitment to advancing and implementing a national dementia plan will be essential to ensuring that diagnosis, care and support, and rights for people living with dementia become national priorities. This World Alzheimer Month, let us work together to ensure that the earlier people know, the more they can do, and that no one faces dementia alone. Thank you. Very best wishes for a successful and very impactful World Alzheimer's Month campaign.